Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Learning and Development webinar. My name is Pratibha and I'll be your moderator for today. So if at any point you have any question, you want to know more about GSDC, otherwise if you want to connect with our speaker or if you have any question, please feel free to use the chat box. And let's make this interactive. So along with the session, if you feel that what is most resonated with you, or you have any key takeaways, or if you have any question, don't hesitate to use the chat box. That way we know you're with us and you're absorbing this insightful session. With that, it's time to start the event. Just allow me a minute to share my screen. Meanwhile, please let us know from where you guys are watching. Just please allow me a minute. On behalf of the Global Skill Development Council, I'm truly delighted to welcome you all in learning in practical real world learning and development case studies across industries. In this webinar, you will be unlocking the secrets behind industry leading learning and development transformation by learning from real world cases studies, which you can apply on your daily professional life. So one of the things which make this webinar is so interesting is the amazing panel of speakers we have lined up for you. Some of them have already given an incredible and insightful session, and others are all set to bring in more powerful idea. So make sure you're grabbing spot for every event. Now, for those who are joining us with the first time, let me give you a quick introduction who we are. So, Global Skill Development Council is a globally recognized certification body committed to bridging the gap between skills, innovation, and industry. Till yet, we have 250,000 professionals certified with us. We have 100 plus training partners with us. We have 500 plus subject matter experts who contribute to our program. We are associated with 1,000 plus multinational companies and 50 plus university worldwide. We are accredited by ANSI and ABICB. Till yet, we have 100 plus certification portfolio covering in our program. So these are the training partners who are associated with us from the Asia, Canada, Africa, Australia, Nigeria, Singapore, and many other countries. We are so much thankful for these training partners. A special thank you to our media partner WordPress Hub to amplify our initiative for press release and reach it to the vital global audience. Now, I wanted to make an excellent announcement. We have just launched a new unique platform called GSDC AI Studio Lifelong Learning Initiative. In this AI Studio, you will be getting the 4 daily session, 45 minutes live expert lead session for hands-on learning, session from global expert learning directly from AI leaders around the world, real-time practice, apply concept immediately and get your question answered, certification ready. You will be getting the training aligned with industry standard for job ready skills. So how you can get the benefit of this GSTCI Studio? Well, let me tell you. So there are 3 ways from which you can get the benefit of GSDC AI Studio. First, you have a free 30-day access. In this, you will getting the 80 plus live session per month, access to full GSTC Studio. Second, you have a GSTC lifelong membership on $109. In this, you will be upgrading to Pro, and you will getting lifetime access, 80 plus live session per month, access to full GSTC Studio, free GSTC membership, access to physical event, and LinkedIn profile improver. Last but not the least, you have a GSTC certification lifetime membership. So this is for a very limited time of offer, and the offer is starting from $100. So in this, you will getting the GSTC certification, all benefits of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone projects plus AI tool, GSTC Copilot, and competency assessment tool. So, as I told you that currently we have 100 plus certification portfolio in profile, which is covering into learning and development and HR, Gen AI and agentic AI, emerging technologies, ISO lead auditor and implementer, project management and PMO, Agile DevOps and SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and many more. With that, it's time to welcome our today's speaker. So today we have Ganesh Kupla with us. We are very honored to have him as a speaker. He is a senior principal director, services, utility, resources, and energy at Infosys Consulting. And Ganesh is seasoned leader and motivational speaker with 20 plus years of experience in tax management, global governance, and business transformation. As a senior principal director at Infosys Consulting, he leads global compliance and transformation projects, driving innovation and excellence. He is a former leader at KPMG, UK, Deloitte, EY, and Shell. Ganesh is known for his Nilombik leadership, strategic innovation, and collaborative approach. He also hosts candid conversation with Ganesh Kopla, inspiring over 10 million people worldwide through impactful decision with global leader. Today he is going to lead the session on financial building financial fluency, upskilling teams for the new era of digital finance. With that, it's time to hand over the virtual mic to the Ganesh. But before that, let me tell you one thing very quickly. So, if you have any question you want to know about the GSDC, don't hesitate to use the chat box. Now, I'm handing over the virtual mic to the Ganesh. Ganesh, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Pratibha. Hope you can hear and see me as well very clearly.
Yes, Ganesh, we can hear and see you visibly clear.
Perfect. All right. Hope you can see my screen as well.
It's still in process.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can see the screen.
Brilliant. All right. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on the location you are in. I'm based in London, so I should be saying good afternoon to everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. Today, we're going to discuss about building financial fluency, upskilling the teams for the new era of digital finance. So the conversation primarily, I want to keep it very live, and if anybody wants to discuss and bring topics in the discussion during the conversation, don't hesitate to kind of ping me through the chat. Pratibha will be monitoring that, and I'm happy to bring in. So I don't have to wait for the questions towards the end of the session. If there are any interesting topics that you're like willing to kind of discuss in between the conversation, please do bring that up. Before I get started with the conversation today, I just wanted to understand from if there's a option, Pratibha, to hands up or like showing a thumbs up in the chat. How many of you actually are from any of the finance background? Are you more driven from the engineering or non-finance people, or any one of you are finance people? I know people who are watching live may not be able to hands up, but here they can probably say, participants, if you want to quickly in the chat, if you want to thumbs up, you understand finance fundamentals and all that stuff, if it'll be helpful. I'll just pause for a second. Is there a way to collect that data? Non-finance, okay. Understands finance, okay, that's good. All right, let me see. Okay, finance managers, that's amazing. Very interesting. Brilliant. Okay, I think there are people who are finance and non-finance, so I'll keep it more generic for the conversation today. But yeah, for the people who are in the finance space, it'll be extremely interesting if you can bring your insights as well, right? So today, as I said, like the conversations or this particular webinar's intention is to kind of empowering the organizations through team-based financial literacy and digital readiness. At least for the last decade or so, I'm in the industry of finance and tax for a couple of decades now. But I'm in decade one, where I was more of a junior manager and working on the compliance for finance and all. Primary discussions were not really around the digitalization. It was more around tax savings and all that stuff, right? I mean, more from the core finance topics. But at least in the last decade or so, especially in the last 5 years, most of the discussions in the roundtable in the finance rooms are more driven by the digitalization across the globe. So it is quite obvious and very important for everyone in or out of finance space to understand how digitalization is going to impact the finance organizations. Being that said, considering all that stuff, I have put together a quick agenda for you, all of you, to quickly go through. I mean, we have done the introduction, why we are doing this. So I'm going to talk about digital finance transformation in general, overall, and key skills for teams and upskilling strategies for all of you to consider for your teams. And then we can probably get on to call of action and conclusion. That's the intention. To start with, I'm going to talk about core finance, key concepts in the digital finance and how the transformation is working at the moment. So what happens, like, as some of our participants are non-finance, I'll quickly go through some of these topics in a bit generic way, and then get into the details for everyone to understand, right? So digital finance, for example, like finance as a whole, all of you know what is fundamentally finance, right? I mean, it's about money. It's about your if you're an organization, how you're managing your budgets, how you're managing your profits and losses, or how you're managing your inflows, outflows of cash. All that comes under finance, right? So when it comes to digital finance, primarily what it means, like, finance, as everyone understand, it's about money. It's about how you spend. It's about how you make money, all that stuff, right? But when it comes to digitalization of the finance, it comes to picture that how you're changing your traditional conservative methods of financing, be through your regular bookkeeping levels, accounting, bookkeeping, or tax. From there to moving and getting into more digitalization transformation through the finance space, right? So each one of us, irrespective of whether you are in the finance space or non-finance, it is important. You can see first topic that I want to highlight is core financial fundamentals are important for everyone across the organization. Finance is something that you cannot avoid in your day-to-day life, right? I mean, irrespective, you might be an engineer or you might be a core product manager. Irrespective of all that stuff, eventually your bottom line and your finances, your P&L, will impact your career. So it's important to understand for everyone. What I suggest generally is, please do have a basic fundamental financial knowledge. Teams needs to understand basics like P&L. How do my organization P&L works? Do I have does my organization have enough cash flows? How is the balance sheet of my team, my overall organization working? And even if you work in the service level groups, most of us work in the service lines, right? I mean, when it comes to a big organization, you might have various service level lines where you are probably looking at your own service line numbers. So it's extremely important to understand, irrespective of whether you're finance team members or not finance team members, to make sure you understand the bottom line and top line items, so that you are contributing eventually. All the profit organizations, or even not profit organizations, eventually run down for making a certain amount of outcome out of the business that we do. Business as a whole, as a conceptually, is designed to make profits out of it, right? So, for example, what the reason I'm mentioning it is important, because when we work in the environment in the organizations, we tend to see like various teams. Like, there's a finance team, there's marketing team, there's production team, there is other teams as well, right? So most of the times, what happens is, like, these teams are work in their own silos, and they don't connect. For example, marketing team, for instance, if they're not aligned to profitability of the firm, and what is the profitability goal of the firm, or how much the finance or tax teams are trying to achieve through the year, the marketing team will not be able to align their campaigns according to that, right? It's extremely important for, even marketing team is not part of the finance section, but they still need to understand. I'll tell you a classic example. One of the FMCG brands that I was working on, one of their I was doing consulting for them back in Big Fours. So what we said is, like, there's a very big retail chain and FMCG brands, huge brand across the globe. You probably know them. You're probably using most of their products every day. So those people, like, we actually got this consulting program, a large scale consulting program, understanding their business model and why they're not achieving in the marketing spend. For example, there was so much of marketing spend, but they were not achieving the results that they have to. So what we suggested then is going back to kind of do a finance literacy programs for non-finance managers, apart from your core finance and tax teams, I think what they need to do is going back and speaking to their non-finance teams and explaining them how the bottom lines of those particular teams are impacting these finance results. So out of that, what happened is, like, this particular company was able to achieve 12% reduction in unnecessary marketing fund, which is exceptional story to tell. How can this happen? Like, when we talk about, okay, understanding finance will be easy, and understanding finance will be easy when you actually make yourself aware of what's happening in the finance space. But how can you do it? Like, that's where I want to quickly, today, as we are talking more about the digital finance space, I want to bring to you some of the digital finance tools and platforms that could actually help you to understand this. Most of you would have heard about, when we talk about digital finance tools, you would have, bell rings for you to talk about some ERPs or AI tools that will enable you to real-time financial visibility. As example, like, you would have heard about SAP as a ERP everywhere, right? All of us, whether we are in non-finance or finance teams, you would know that your firms will be either using SAP, Oracle, or NetSuite or S4HANA, all those tools, right? And they will be using these for integrated reporting for their firm level, at the service line levels, or across the firm level. So it's extremely important for us to have that awareness that, how these are being run. As I said, like, I've been working on this space for like last 2 decades, and one of the primary example I can bring is, like, we were working on one of the Siemens, you probably know. We were working on the migration some time back, and they were actually spending a lot of this time to the manual tools. So what we suggested primarily is going back to them and saying that, they have to come out of their traditional ways of working in the finance space and bring the new tools, like, S4HANA, for example. I'm not here to promote any tools here, but just to tell you that, there is so many advanced tools that can help firms to achieve a better finance, in the month end closing. Like, every organization has to report their results at the month end or quarter end or closure of the years through a particular process. And this particular firm were actually struggling in that space. So we actually suggested some migrations, which actually resulted in reduction of at least 40% of their month end closing time, which is extremely important. And that's the reason it's very, very important to kind of have that knowledge, and making sure that, you're using that knowledge. And the next point I wanted to highlight is data driven decision making. Why it's extremely important for finance professionals or non-finance professionals is, when your data is driven by, when your decisions are driven by the data. If you're in a firm where you have a number of analytics tools and all that stuff, but if your analytic tools are not aligned to your end goal, then you might struggle in understanding what's happening, right? You should always be looking in forecasting or optimizing decisions based on the data. And, like, when we talk about data tools, for example, you would have heard about Power BI dashboards. You would have heard about trend analysis dashboards that can be from Azure, or various other business intelligence systems. So, you would have heard about this. Like, one of the very well known case is basically how you can change and I've heard this in the Bloomberg edition of writings as well, that, Starbucks used predictive analytic tools to use in all the store locations, and they increased the revenue by 8%. Like, this is a very interesting story. When Starbucks was actually doing this study, one of the consulting group were doing this study, and they said that, a particular time of the day, you have to have particular kind of drink more used or consumed by the customers. So what they did is, like, they tried to do the trend analysis, like, what are the kind of drinks, or like what are the kind of the food, or various aspects that coming from the store are being used by which demography and all that stuff. So they did that database predictive analysis, considering that, okay, if this particular location gets X amount of revenue, how can I generate the similar revenue the other location, and is there any changes that I can bring which are driven by the analytics that are coming from the data. And they did the predictive analysis and in multiple locations at the same time, and they achieved 8% of revenue increase, which is an exceptional thing, right? I mean, that's how data will be helpful for you. And the last one I wanted to highlight is, while you think about all these key concepts in the digital finance space, it's extremely important to kind of think about regulatory compliance and the risk management. Finance and tax are the space basically where government and authorities have huge interest in, right? I mean, eventually all the companies have to pay, your taxes or dividends. So there will be a number of stakeholders who are interested in how you're performing. So it's extremely important to have that regulatory compliance risk management lens as well when you're thinking about digital finance as one of the section, right? So being that said, I think I want to move on to talking about the strategies for upskilling teams and how it could help you to kind of build this space much more stronger. I know we only have limited time, so I may not be talking about everything here, but I just want to give you a direction how teams should be thinking in a way that it'll be helpful for you to bring that efficiency in the teams and more making sure that your teams are more aligned to the finances, right? So what I generally suggest is basically having role-based certification programs. Um, if you're in the finance teams at the entry levels versus a junior level or mid-level management level, making sure that you have the certifications being planned for your teams is extremely important. What I suggest is, if you're at the entry level, like making sure if they can achieve something around like things like CFA or SCCA, for example, or any fintech courses that are available in various platforms like GSDC is providing some of the courses, or Udemy or various other platforms does give you some base level financial courses. So it's always helpful to have that basic level knowledge through these courses, and then going into technology and making sure that you might have a staff who are tech savvy and who wants to understand primarily about this particular section of the finances and all. Then you probably would want to have your teams joining these certification programs through various platforms, or as I mentioned, right? I mean, I remember Deloitte had this internal certification programs where there was so much focus on digital finance adoption. And back in like last 10 years back when I was with Deloitte, and they used to actually run this certification program which is primarily focused on digital finance. And those were the times where US and India markets were actually moving very aggressively into digital finance space, and authorities of US and India were actually pushing more on the e-filing space and all. So what Deloitte actually did is launching internal certification programs. I mean, if you're a small organization, you probably will not be able to um, accommodate with the huge learning programs, but then you can take the help of other service providers. But if you're a decent size organization, what I generally suggest is to having your own internal certification programs, so that people are equipped with the knowledge that will help in the digital finance space. And what else can be done in the digital tools basically is making sure hands-on training is provided with the digital tools. Practical exposure of accelerated learning. It could be workshops, it could be training sessions that are being run by the experienced folks in the teams. For instance, if you have finance managers who are running the books for you, and if you can do that at a large level organization, and run the workshops, like for instance how AI is changing the finance space, right? For example, I was doing this in recent times in my organization as well, like to explaining rest of my teams in terms of how AI is impacting tax organization, how AI is impacting finance organization. So that what happens is, like, as I said, like at the beginning, you will be working in different teams, a part of the organization, but eventually you all end up working on one goal, which is eventually the profitability of the organization. So what happens is, like, if you can bring that knowledge base from your trainings through the methodology of training, and making sure that you share all that knowledge with the other teams. What I generally suggest, specifically in this space, is like finance and tax is been seen as more of like not mainstream organization in the manufacturing or oil and gas and energy space client, kind of spaces. So that's when it is important for you to go back and explain them how changing the accounting systems or bookkeeping or how it will impact your large level organization. All that is extremely important. So as I was saying, one of the again, I want to bring one example here. So if I remember, like few years back, probably 7-8 years back, we did one of the projects with Nestle, who actually trained their teams with the predictive analysis, and they actually were working on the inflow and outflow of the inventory. Hope you understand what it means. But so there was not so efficient inventory management at Nestle some time back. So what they did is, like, they trained the teams on predictive analytic tools and about how this inflows and outflows of inventory happening and how can that be reduced. And in Nestle ended up actually reducing inventory waste by 15%, which is exceptional story as well, right? And the last one, and the next one that I want to speak in this space is how we can strategize is making sure that you conduct continuous learning. It could be mocks, it could be webinars, ongoing educations in terms of you can do LinkedIn learning, which helps exceptionally well as well. There's so much which works in the LinkedIn learning space as well. And especially in the digital finance space, I mean, everyone talks about AI as a very very strong tool these days, especially in the last 2 to 3 years. Everywhere I go, every conversation that I have is all about AI. And I work with large energy space clients, and they come back and ask, like, we have these problems in the finance and tax space. Can you suggest a AI tool or is there anything that kind of gives you the use cases which can help you drive the change in the finance space, right? I mean, so we tried to do some blockchain. We ended up going to the client and explaining them about various of this forecasting that was done based on, like, what's upcoming in the future, and we used some AI tools, and which helped really well, right? And as I said, like, this learning can be very tricky because there are a lot of developments and improvements that are happening every day, so things are changing super rapidly. But making sure your teams are aligned to your goals, and making sure that your teams are at least well versed with the digital frequency language, which is really very helpful. And I remember, like, even for example, when I was working in big fours, I think EY, PwC, and Deloitte, all of them have Coursera or Udemy partnerships that are being built. So what I suggest with your organization is, if you're an organization which don't have partnerships yet, I mean, it could be anyone. I mean, I'm not suggesting any particular name here, but what I suggest is, like, if you can plan partnering with one of these continuous learning program providers. It could be Coursera or like Udemy or anything, for example. And if you can do that and get your employees engaged, and make sure you're targeting the upskilling of your employees across the organization in the financial space, will be very very helpful. And I remember, like, back in when I was mentioning about Deloitte, right? I mean, talking about internal certification programs and all. They also actually went and connected with one of these providers. Like, I remember, like, it was Coursera, I guess. So they actually did this plenty of courses coming from both finance and finance management and personal finance management as well. It's not only, when you talk about digitalization of the finance, it's not only about your organizational finance, right? I mean, it's about your personal finance as well. And if you're people from India, if you're people in Middle East or European markets, that how extensively the authorities are changing their rules in the personal income taxes space, distillation of the taxes. You don't have to paper file anything right now. Everything is being filed online, and everything is being managed. Your even including litigation, for that matter, including court controversies and all that stuff, is they try to, I mean, authorities are trying to manage through online. So that's the reason, like, back in, as I was mentioning at the beginning of the conversation, that 10 years back, most of the discussions were around how I can bring this, that stuff, kind of, right? But now, the primary discussion in most of the drawing table discussions are primarily to help. Okay, if there is a data question coming up from pillar 2, for example, I don't know how many of you are from European region or some of the other regions as well. There is so much being done at the pillar 2 sections right now. I mean, all the countries are asking multiple layers of data. So what's happening is, like, now bookkeeping and ERPs have become extremely important, because tax authorities are not taking your tax return and looking at the tax return then asking questions. They're actually talking about real time reporting. What is real time reporting? Basically, even when the invoice is generated, for the indirect tax space, for example, VAT and all that, input tax credits and all that stuff, authorities are trying to kind of get to your ERP and understand your numbers straight away. So it's extremely important to have that culture of having that continuous learning, right? And the last thing I want to mention is, in this particular strategy, I mean, there are more that I can bring, but considering the limitation of the time, I would want to highlight one thing is, it's all about your cultural change. Some of the organizations do have this culture of learning and innovation and collaboration, and some of the organizations may not have, because of the, whatever the restrictions or strategies you have, right? But it's extremely important to have that culture of innovation and culture of collaboration. The reason I say this is because, again, I might sound repeating here, but it is extremely important to have cross cultural, cross functional collaborations. You might have teams working in Middle East, that those numbers may impact you on a large scale sometimes, and like any organizations work on their HR level collaboration, I think it's extremely important to work in the financial level collaborations as well, like understanding your cross-functional teams, making sure that how that business is impacting your numbers and all that stuff is extremely important. So how you can achieve this? Probably you can do some innovation labs between finance and IT teams. It's very popular one, because I work in tax and finance space. So what I suggest my teams to do is, like, if you're an IT team person, I mean, I do lead large scale tax transformation programs, and when that happens, I always tend to suggest my IT teams, don't think like, you're a software engineer. Yeah, you're right, you're a software engineer, but understanding the core finance issue is a key for you to kind of solutionize your product. So it's extremely important to have that finance and IT connects, finance and tax connects, and tax and IT connects, all that stuff, right? I remember, like, IBM, for example, a few years back, they had this innovation lab concept, finance innovation labs. Even EY had tax and finance operating model kind of labs. They tried to kind of bring tax, finance, IT into one room and just run through the problems. And where is the possibility of automation? Is there a, are there I mean, you wouldn't know until you sit with the actual teams working on it. I mean, we may end up, what happens is, like, we may end up sitting in one of the teams and may not understand how the other teams are functioning, and there may be a lot of manual processes which are actually being picked up by one team to another. It's like a relay, right? I mean, once the team number one works on a particular manual processes, it definitely gets into a second team, and they will continue to work on that. And because your systems are not set in the initial stages, more automation friendly, you end up spending a lot of time on the manual spaces. So it's extremely important to have that culture of innovation and collaboration. That's, I do want to highlight that very loud and clear here, because it's extremely important to have that culture of innovation and collaboration. All right, being that said, I would want to move on to talk about how to kind of, how to achieve this. I mean, in terms of conclusion, you may call it as call of action. Embrace digital transformation as a team. Don't think like it is tax or finance teams jobs. It's not my space, so I don't want to worry about, like, your product changes impact everyone similarly. Changes in the finance and tax space will impact other teams as well. So it's extremely important to understand. And for instance, like, I can talk about, because I'm based in Europe, I'm in London. Fundamentally, I can talk about what number of digitalization changes driven by the tax authorities are actually impacting the whole system. How you're going to my trade teams are getting affected, my sales teams are getting affected, eventually everything, the operational teams are getting affected. So though it's a change in the tax domain, it is actually going to impact everyone across the board. So it's extremely important to have that transformation mindset from the lens of organization rather than looking at your own silos. And second point I want to highlight and call out very, very clearly, loudly, is investing in workforce that you have, and making sure that you're upskilling your teams. When I say upskilling teams, it doesn't stop at, as I was mentioning, it doesn't stop at your own area of work, but it has to be beyond your area of work at organizational level. Understanding and making sure your cross-functional changes that are being done at the digital space is understood by you, especially in the finance space. The next one I want to highlight is leveraging technology for financial agility. I mean, fundamentally, it's AI these days. There are so many business intelligence tools that are being adopted by AI, and I mean, there used to be machine learning tools. There used to be some robotic RPA, process automation tools, and all that stuff in the finance space. They all are now being called as more adaptive agentic AI solutions. So, what I suggest is, if you can step up and see, like if you're a finance leader, go and speak to the IT teams and make sure that how your technology being adapted into finance and tax space is extremely important. And what I ask you is, like, build your financial fluency from, I mean, if you're talking to me today, I suggest do it from today, because it's not something which can be done overnight. But what you can learn is, through the process, you can definitely talk about various these things and how can we achieve that. uh, you know for example, embracing, right? I mean, if I have to bring some examples about how this can be achieved, I've seen one of the very successful stories in, I was reading in, again, I think Bloomberg somewhere, that Coca-Cola formed agile squads for digital finance projects. And what they've done is, they because they had to implement this huge change in the finance ERP space. So what they did is, like, they formed agile squads. I mean, they wanted to bring focus groups into some space, and then they said, like, this particular focus groups will be working on digital finance projects, and then implemented by certain particular time and all that stuff, because it was squad level instead of leaving it to the different layered groups. It actually, they have achieved 35% plus efficiency, and they achieved that transformation very quickly. And talking about workforce upskilling and all, as I mentioned previously as well, like, all the big fours are trying to do that, even in the technology space. Like our firm, Infosys and Accenture, every one of I mean, most of the tech firms try to kind of launch their finance academies or improving digital tool adoption, um, as a strategy, rather than just keeping it as a normal goal. They Our firms, including my firm and the other firms as well, they're actually launching global finance academies. They're saying, like, this is how we have to adopt. And one of the large technology firms actually have achieved 40+% adoption rate within very less time. And one of the examples I want to bring it out for the agility, finance agility, and making sure that technology being leveraged at the high level is, again, one of the CRL, I mean, the retail clients that I remember from a few years back. Most of you would have heard about PNG. PNG actually automated, PNG, even shipping companies, some of the other shipping companies. I remember working for one of the shipping companies as one of my clients. They actually automated the invoice workflows. There used to be manual invoice workflows, and which they have automated. And the processing times towards the month end used to take like 10 days before the conversion. But after that, after the automation of the invoice workflows, the processing time has reduced from 10 days to, let's say, 2 or 3 days. All right. So those are the different things that I wanted to speak about. I mean, I know it's a lot generic. I didn't want to get into extreme detail, two level discussions, primarily because it's not full finance team that I'm talking to. But What I wanted to achieve through this discussion is to tell you that there's so much changing in the finance and tax space across the globe. So it's extremely important for us to be literate in the space, and making sure that we have that collaborative, innovative mindset, so that we come out and out of the out of your own silos of particular product or particular technology or particular finance or tax. All of the teams should work together to achieve this fluency that is needed for today, because most of the organizations, especially, as I said, it's driven by the regulation. So if you don't understand where the organization is coming from, because where we are in 2025 down the line, like in 1 or 2 years, you will see at least 80% of the authorities across the globe are going to automate entire finance and tax systems. So the tax filing or finance filings, whatever used to happen manually, will not be happening manually anymore. So all of these changes will be impacting each of you. You might not see that coming upfront, but eventually your bottom line will get affected, and it'll come up to your product level. And because most of the finance and tax space work is LTO, like license to operate kind of jobs, right? I mean, you can't just play around with compliance. So if you don't meet the compliance deadlines, or if you don't meet the compliance requirements of any particular organization, then you end up not to operate. So it's extremely important for us to digitally literate, so that you understand what's happening across the space. Like I can talk extreme details if we talk about tax in specific or finance in specific, how many changes are coming up and what are they doing in the different spaces. Like, for example, as I was mentioning, pillar 2 is growing, and e-invoicing is one more very, very popular thing, where everyone is talking about e-invoicing across the globe, because the authorities, after the BEPS, like base erosion profit shifting rules, they said, like there are certain countries came together, OECD came together and said there is so much happening in the tax evasion space. So it has to be extremely important. We have to make it digital, bring electronic invoicing. You can't play around, like not to have invoicing in the manual space anymore. A lot of the countries, at least 60 to 70% of the countries across the globe, are implementing invoicing right now. And most of the countries have signed up for Pillar 2, which is basically data inputs for each of the um, regions, each of the countries and geographies have extensively increased. So it's extremely important to have that, kind of innovation led, data led finance teams, data driven finance decision making teams, same time tax teams as well, and other teams, finance, non-finance teams, supporting the goal of finance in terms of digitalizing the whole process. That's the extremely important thing. So my call to action for everyone is, if you're in a non-finance space, please do go and speak to your finance teams. And if you're a finance space, please do go and speak to your product or technology or manufacturing, whatever company, whichever company you work with. Please do go and speak to your other teams and get equipped with what's happening in this space. With that, I know my time is coming to end. I'll pause here for a minute and then take questions, Pratibha.
Thank you so much, Ganesh, for this amazing and insightful session. So, as the floor is officially open for question and answer, we are running out of time, so we'll not be able to take more of the question. So, if you have any question at any point, please feel free to use the chat box. Meanwhile, our participant is sending the question. Would you like to give any final comment or final statement, Ganesh?
My final statement is, get ready. It's changing a lot. So if you are not prepared enough for digitalization, it's going to come and bite you. So, and it's not tomorrow, it's today. uh, Changes are life, like we say, right? I mean, A is not future, A is current. Similarly, most of the financial changes that we are talking about is not future, it's all current, it's already happening. I see
Thank
one
you
of the
so much
questions.
for.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I see
Sorry,
one of
go
the
ahead.
questions coming up from the chat. I saw one question at least. This is talking about, is there a platform that calculates cost of training, attrition, resignation of an employee, customer feedback on the indirect? Yeah, there are tools. there are a lot of tools. If you want to go for, I think, I mean, I don't want to suggest tools here because it becomes sponsoring a tool. But I do say that, there are tools very particularly which works on attrition cost calculator, very, very particularly, which actually provides custom estimates based on the role, salary, what's your time of the leaving and all that stuff. You have to give data inputs into all of that, and it does calculate. I think the question is asked by Nerissa. It's a good question, Nerissa. There are tools to answer your question. There are very good platforms for cost of attrition, real cost of attrition. You can, I mean, there is a free tools that you can try as well, and there are paid tools as well. And yeah, what is the other question in terms of resignation, attrition? Yeah, all that stuff is covered by that. And otherwise, in terms of feedback in general, how you can get, there is a learning book. Again, LinkedIn Learning Book does suggest some of these courses. So if you want to go and look at it, it does have um, cost of disengagement, cost of attrition, what could it happen, like what is the right cost of attrition, what is the right cost of disengagement that you need to achieve in a finance space, especially in the tax organization and finance organization. And but it also talks about other overall group level organization as well, in terms of you talk about ROI, right? I mean, when you're investing in a particular resource to hire into a company, what is your ROI is what generally people talk about, right? I mean, how many years, how many months that employee should stay with you, so that they can achieve the firm can, I mean, negate what's the cost spent on it. Yeah. All right.
So,
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Pratibha.
sorry. So thank you so much for this detailed and thoughtful answers. So Vikas here is saying that a lot of time we end in discussion on ROI and how to quantity right to financial terms. So do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah. So as I was mentioning, when we talk about ROI, especially in the HR space, right? It's all about, if I'm spending, for instance, let's say, 100,000 is spent on a human resource to be acquired and equipped. It's not about only hiring costs, right? It's about your training investment and all that stuff. So the quantifying happens based on your hiring cost plus the training cost and plus the opportunity cost as well. If not this particular resource, if you have hired somebody else, what could have been your opportunity cost? With all that considering, most of the firms, because I have seen is like, they tend to pick 18 months to 24 months as a ROI period. If you're hiring employee, and if you can retain an employee for 24 months, that's a very good ROI. And that's how you quantify basically financially.
Thank you so much for those detailed and thoughtful answer, Ganesh.
There
So,
was one question from Chloe. I can see that now. What is your suggestion on courses to learn from for someone who is not in finance industry and also related to AI? I think the best space. I know we are sitting in GSDC, so but yeah, you can actually, LinkedIn does provide a lot of these beginners for free. So you can actually go into select courses from LinkedIn. Even Udemy does a lot of courses on base level finance and base level AI. So if you can start with that, it'll be good.
thank you so much for this detailed and thoughtful answer. And to adding regarding the courses, I want to tell one thing about the GSDC, that we are also conducting a free, certification and free webinar for the finances. So you can check out our website and you can go through there and you can learn on that. And Vikas wants to know, one book can you suggest to read at this junction?
On Can you be more specific? Is it on finance, because, or is it generic? What, I mean, are you talking about ROI?
I
If it
think
is
he's
about,
talking.
yeah,
Yes, on
finance. Okay.
finance.
If it is on finance, I don't know if how many of you know Morgan Housel. There's a book called The Psychology of Money. I love the book.
Mhm.
The Psychology of Money. It's an amazing book. It actually explains how behavior impact financial decisions, and it is absolutely applicable for leadership as well. I mean, even if you're a leader in a huge organization, you still have a particular psychology which runs drives your profitability. So it's important to understand the psychology before you understand the finance, right? I mean, that's in this book Morgan actually explains exceptionally well. And all-time favorite, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't know, there's so much about how to manage money in the Rich Dad and Poor Dad as well.
Thank you so much for this answer. Johnson's wants to know, does the book cover financial literacy and their functions?
It doesn't cover Johnson like functions, but it is more about driving the leadership from finance space, right? I mean, understanding money is extremely important as a starting point, and then if you want to look at, like, finance functions and all, then you have to go more academic, right? Um, and it can be a lot. I mean, if you're talking about academic books, I can suggest plenty. So I don't know if that will be interesting for people, but if you're not academics, then I would suggest. I mean, there's a handbook called Digital Banking and Finance, which is by Christopher. But yeah, again, that is pure finance. Yeah.
Thank you so much once again for those detailed and thoughtful answer, and thank you so much again for your insightful and amazing sessions. I'm
Thanks.
sure our participants have learned a lot. And the participant who wants to connect with Ganesh, I have shared his LinkedIn ID in the chat box. You guys can connect with him over there. And if you have any query and if you want to know anything more about the finance, so Ganesh is the guy you can connect and you can ask all of the questions. So with that, it's time to move ahead to the next slide. So just allow me a minute to share my screen. Ganesh, could you please kindly, yeah, thank you. So if you are ready for getting the certification into learning and development, you can opt for the certification from our website. You can go into the GSDC for the certification part. And for our participant, we have a complimentary coupon code, which is LND20. So you can use this coupon code as while opting the certification. So you will get a discount. I'm also sharing the link of this coupon code in this chat box for your convenience. Apart from that, I wanted to tell you one more tool we have launched, a utility tool. So utility tool is basically your helper to stand out your profile in front of the HRs and recruiters. So the process is when you will log in into utility tool by using your LinkedIn ID and password, it will evaluate your profile completely and it will give you a recommendation which is currently trending in HR and recruitment industry to shortlisting your profile regarding the bio or professional photo, LinkedIn backdrop, your experience management, and everything. So you can access this utility tool on our website, and while accessing the utility tool, we have also given a complimentary coupon code for this as well for our participant. So the coupon code is AUG100. So I sharing the link into the chat box for your convenience. Also, if you want to know more about the GSDC certification or if you want to know more about the GSDC AI Studio, I am sharing the contact person email in the chat box. Please drop an email to her. She will let you know more about all of these things. And now, before ending the event, I just wanted to announce regarding the other events which we are conducting right now. So currently we are conducting an event on ISO 42001 and ISO 27001. These are conducting from 3rd November to 21st November at 9:30 a.m. CST, 10:30 p.m. SGT, and 8 p.m. IST. Please make sure you're grabbing the spot from our website for this event. Apart from that, we are also conducting right now a solving chain and learning challenges with Gen AI from 3rd November to 7th November, 7:30 a.m. CST, 8:30 p.m. SGT, and 6 p.m. IST. We have after this, I am going to host one more event that is called AI Tools Challenge 2025. So this is a 100 days AI tool challenge where we're making each section according to the professionals and managers learning to from the data driven decision making to collaboration and approach. So make sure you're grabbing your spot here as well. And the timings are 11:30 a.m. EST, 10:30 a.m. CST, 12:30 a.m. SGT, and 10 p.m. IST. with that, it's time to celebrate our referral champions. So we have a top three champions today. It's Bhanu Durgesh, EBI, and Avinash Kumar. Congratulations to all three of you. Keep the momentum going. You can also be part of the referral championship. So what you have to do, if any of your peers, colleague, or professional wants to join this webinar, you can refer them through the registration link, which you will find onto the GSDC website. And once you hit a $50 point referral point, you will get a free certification voucher from the GSDC. And if you want to become one of our speaker for any webinar or learning capsules and podcasts, please connect to us at pratibha@gsdccouncil.org. I've already shared my email in the chat box for your convenience. And these are all the website where you can connect with us regarding the LinkedIn website and WhatsApp. And also, if you like anything from the session, or if you want to go give any feedback, you can share your feedback at Trustpilot. I'm sharing all this link over chat box for your convenience. And with that, it's time to come to an event. Please make sure you guys are attending the others events as well. And if you want to know more about the AI tool challenge, please make sure you're coming up in the next event as well. Meanwhile, keep learning, keep energizing, and keep enjoying our session. Thank you so much all for the joining. Thank you so much once again, Ganesh, for the amazing and insightful session. We are very honored to have you as our speaker. Have a good night, good evening, and good morning whenever you are. Thank you so much once
Thank you,
again.
guys. Thank you, bye.